for everything you've been doing.
Yeah.
3 key takeaways. Anybody who's into fashion designing, who really have that vision and want to pursue these things, like what would you give them? I mean, because your story's crazy, like how you understood what you didn't have as far as skill sets and improved those things and kind of like saw the bumps in the road and figured it out. So like, what were like 3 key takeaways for the past 10 years?
Okay, 3 things. I'll say resilience, because resilience really helped me stay on course.
Okay.
Not taking no for an answer, it really helped me stay on course. And staying true to my art helped me stay on course. And one of the greatest thing that helped me always excel, and it kind of turned a 100-mile run into like a 50-mile run, was staying close to the professionals. Because when you shadow the professionals, they like being shadowed by young people. One. And at the same time, you're learning something on a different level that you've never been exposed to. And what's better than learning from a pro? So everywhere I've been, I would just look around the room, search for the person who's like considered the best, and just ask 1,000 questions every day. People like being sought after as a mentor, or people like feeling good about themselves when they're appreciated, when they're like needed. So if you give someone the opportunity to teach you, and you give yourself the opportunity to learn, you're like in a perfect position. And if you can learn from a master, that means you don't have to go through most of the trial and errors.
Like skip forks in the road.
Exactly.
They did that, and they're giving you the game.
Exactly. And as a young person, you absorb more. And they want it, it just helps them feel alive, giving to a young person.
It's also a cycle, right? Because it continues to happen that way.
Exactly, yeah. And I've been, in tailoring, there's nothing but older people. I've always worked with people that are like my mother's age, or my father's age, or my grandfather's, if he was alive's age. And, these people have put in 40 years.
Change, like how music changes throughout the years?
It has, but the fundamental part takes about 80% of it.
You don't got a young tailor telling like an older tailor like, yo, this shit is whack. It's that new shit.
No, that a lot of that actually happens because people, it doesn't matter what it is, people are always going to try to find the shortcut. Most people want to do less work than people who actually want to go through the whole process. So it's just like anything else, people want to find a shortcut. But one thing about tailors, like no 2 tailors really agree with each other the way they work. I even though I've shadowed like all these masters, and I've always wanted to become a master tailor, one master tailor wasn't always on the same page as the other master tailor. At the end of the day, there's like 1,000 ways to do the same thing, but that same thing has to be the same way when it's done. It doesn't matter how you do it. Sometimes maybe one or 2 things might be different depending on the kind of finishing you do, but it just has to be great, and it has to follow a certain kind of. There has to be some integrity in your work.